This deck has the potential to beat any deck in the current format. Roll the intro. What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchanting here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game, online deck tech. Today I wanted to cover Kyurem VMAX and Palkia VSTAR. This is what I would consider to be one of, if not the best deck in format. I think this and Lost Box are the two that are up there to be the best deck. I think that this deck is super fun. It's really strong. It has options for everything. So let's go through that really quick. Kyurem VMAX has the Glaciated World ability. I want to start with the ability first because the ability makes the attack so good. Once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your deck. If it's a water energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon. And for Max Frost, which is 3 water, you can discard any amount of water energy from that specific Kyurem VMAX, and it does 50 more damage for each you discarded in this way. Discard 3 water energy, you're doing 270 damage. Discard 4 water energy, you're doing 320. Those are basically the magic numbers. You put a choice belt on there, you're going to be doing damage like crazy. So why is this deck so good? What is the power of Kyurem VMAX? Well, think about all the best decks right now. Lost Box, or even decks that run Miltank, Empoleon V can come through with the Emperor Eyes ability and shut them down completely. VSTAR decks like Palkia and Giratina, Kyurem VMAX can just one-shot them with ease. And thanks to Origin Form Palkia VSTAR's Star Portal ability, you can get a bunch of those energies right back onto your Kyurem, I should say. And you also can use that to that Star Portal ability to use Moonlight Shuriken and snipe 2 Comfey or something like that, depending on your matchup. This deck really can beat anything right now. Even decks like Arceus, this deck does not care. Decks that can be tough like Goodra that reduce a bunch of damage. You have an unlimited damage cap with Max Frost. You can just pile a bunch of energy onto Kyurem and go absolutely crazy. Combine all of these tools that I mentioned with Primate Wisdom Oranguru, which can guarantee you can put a water energy on top of your deck for Glaciated World to activate and discard the and attach an energy by discarding it. Now we have a couple of other cards in here. This deck is kind of all over the place, but it all works thanks to Irida. We have 4 Irida in this deck. You can search for a water Pokemon and an item card and put them into your hand. This deck all comes together because of this card, and there's a lot of moving pieces, but once you get a good board state going, you are essentially unstoppable. So we're gonna go through all the cards right now. We have 1 Battle VIP Pass, simply because if we want to go if we are going second, you can Irida, grab that Battle VIP Pass, and a Pokemon to get a total of 3 Pokemon on the board for 1 supporter. We have 3 Capacious Bucket, as well as 9 Water Energy. You can use these Capacious Buckets to obviously find our Water Energies, and we can get the bucket off of Irida. We play 2 and only 2 Cross Switcher in here. This can be really good if you have a piece in your hand, so you can Irida for the other piece and get something else, and then also use a Gust effect, like a Boss's Orders type deal, and switch. That's basically Guzma from the Sun and Moon days, if anybody played during that time. We have an Energy Retrieval, so we can get some energy from the discard back into our hand, as well as a Hisuian Heavy Ball, because we have a lot of one-of Pokemon in here. We have the Crobat, the Empoleon, the Lumineon. I mean, we have 2 Oranguru, but we also have the one of Radiant Greninja, so there's a lot of Pokemon that you might want to get out of your prizes. We have a single Lost Vacuum, which is really good to get rid of Path to the Peak, because Path to the Peak really hurts this deck. And we also play 1 Lost City and 2 Training Court to bump those stadiums as well. Both equally useful stadiums. Lost City specifically good against Lost Box to stop them from getting their attackers back. Even that Radiant Charge that if they bench it too early or whatever, you can just knock that out very fast. We have 3 Quick Ball and 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Rotom Phone to also help stack our deck and ensure we get what we want on the top of it. 1 Scoop Up Net for the Radiant Greninja or Oranguru resetting, 1 Switch to get our guys out of the active if we need to, and then for our supporters we have the 4 Irida, as I mentioned, 1 Boss's Orders, 3 Melony, so we can also accelerate more water energy, plus drawing cards, 1 Roxanne that can help us shut down our opponent if they are in the lead, and then 1 Cheryl. I really like the Cheryl in this deck because you have to discard energy from Kyurem already. If you get the first KO, they return, put some damage into you, and then you can Cheryl and then Star Portal everything back on, or just use the other tools of this deck, such as using multiple Kyurem VMAXs, because you can use more than one Glaciated World ability in a turn, or using whatever, Star Portal, manual attaching, blah, 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 this, that, whatever. We can accelerate a lot of energy in this deck, which allows us to use supporters like Cheryl. And then we have 2 choice belts for our Pokemon tool of choice to do 30 more to Pokemon V. Now the last card that might be a little bit foreign to a couple people is Wash Energy. Wash Energy was never really played in my time, at least, like while playing the game competitively and semi-competitively and so forth. But it is very, very strong in this meta. It prevents all effective attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to the water Pokemon this card is attached to. So no Giratina VSTAR power, no Lost Mine from Sableye, none of those shenanigans, no special effects, nothing like that can be done to the Pokemon that it's attached to. And really, that's the deck. There's a lot of moving pieces. I was jumping all over in the explanation, but I don't want to waste any more time. We're going to hop right into it and get some great games with Kyurem VMAX. We got to call the coin flip here. We're absolutely going to go first. Tails never fails. It never does. And we got a pretty decent start here, actually. Now, we get to go first, so I want to start with the Kyurem, because sometimes it's not even worth it to put the Empoleon into play. We can even Ultra Ball it away at some point. Well, the Empoleon would have been good to start with here. We don't have a switching card, unfortunately. We're going to keep that Empoleon for now. We'll just go for a Wash Energy. We'll Ultra Ball away Lumineon and Cross Switcher. Really, really tough, but that Lost City is really important down the line. And we could play it safe and grab the Palkia. I think that's what we'll do, right? Yeah, let's play it safe and grab this Origin Form Palkia V. Put that guy onto the bench, and we'll leave the Empoleon in the hand for now. We're just going to pass it on over to my opponent. A little bit of a weak start from us. We'll have to see what they do. You know, you never really know when to play the Empoleon at the beginning of the game, but we can keep that in our hand and utilize it later down the line. Even with Irida, we can find something. My current play is going to be to get a Radiant Greninja and a Capacious Bucket, so we can draw through our deck a little bit more and find some more fellas. But also, maybe we will grab a Crobat, we'll grab some of the Radiant Greninja and a Quick Ball, so we can find ourselves Crobat, get rid of like Empoleon if we need to, and then go from there. My opponent going for a clean research without putting anything onto the board. They start their hand with a lot of energy. Two energy, but that's still a lot in my eyes. My opponent going to go for a Trekking Shoes here. I am like all over the place right now trying to analyze this game. No Pokemon on the bench as of yet. I find it really surprising if they haven't found they had to have found an out to a Pokemon, at least somewhat. Getting rid of a Path and an Aurora Energy. Getting rid of the Path is very good for us because Path really, really hurts us. That's why it's also good to keep this Lost City in hand, because we can bump the Path if they ever play it. My opponent going to get a Regieleki down, and we'll see what other Regis they have in their hand. Maybe they're trying to play their hand down to use Dragon Sword. There is going to come the Registeel, and just Dragon's hoarding for one card. If this was like a Quick Ball or something, it could be very good. There's that Quick Ball coming out, so they're going to get rid of another Path to the Peak. Oh man, I think my opponent might be in for a bit of a rude awakening here. They're going to grab a Regice and play that onto the bench, and no Regigigas and no Regirock, unless those are the 2 last cards in their hand. There's a Speed Lightning coming out. Hey, they could get an attack here, very, very possibly, but the margins are pretty thin, and that's going to be their turn. So we draw Water Energy here, which is really good, because I can actually Irida and grab Crobat in deck. He should be. Yeah, there he is. I can grab Radiant Greninja and Quick Ball. Play it on Radiant Greninja. Get rid of this Empoleon V. See you later, Empoleon. Not going to be used right now. We'll conceal cards first. We're going to conceal cards first and see what else we have if we can discard more cards. I'll put the Choice Belt here because why not? We'll scoop up the Greninja and put him back down. Now I can play the Lost City, which I actually might want to do here, just so I can get that extra card. No, I'm going to hold that Lost City for now. We're going to Crobat V for 5 cards. We got Palkia VSTAR, we got Oranguru, we got a lot going on here. But we don't have, you know what we don't have? We don't have Kyurem VMAX. So the play here is going to be concealed cards once again, get rid of this Water Energy, And there we have our good fellow Kyurem VMAX. We can actually Star Portal and start attacking now if we really, really want to. But I'm going to actually Primate Wisdom and Irida on top of the deck. And, oh, there's a Quick Ball actually, okay. I don't really need to get anything else set up right now. And I'd like to have that Irida there. So I think I might just Star Portal, put 2 energy onto our good pal Kyurem. And now, unfortunately, I'll have to discard one of them, but that's okay. We can... So, I'm going to think about this, right? What are the chances they actually have a... what's it called? A counter stadium and something. I'm going to play the Lost City. I've changed my mind. It's time for the Lost City to come out. We can Max Frost right here. Get rid of 1 energy. And see you later, Regi Drago. 170 damage to the Lost Zone. And I just want to make it that much harder for my opponent to get a board up and running. Because we don't know what they have in their hand. They could have a counter stadium and whatever. But my fear was that if I knocked it out, they would have like Rod and a counter stadium. And if they had that, it just kind of negates using... it kind of just negates knocking out the Regi Drago. So they can Quick Ball now, which basically means they need to find outs to more Pokemon. There's that Regigigas, but they need to have more... they need to have more Regis in their hand, and Lost Zoning that Regi Drago is good for us. They're gonna Marnie us. Hey, I'm happy with that. I can't complain. See, now even if they find a Rod, they can't actually get this Regi Drago into play. There's the Trekking Shoes coming out to try and dig through the deck a little bit more. Regis is a bit of a scary matchup, but as long as you keep doing damage, it's really, really okay. So they have that other Regi Drago here. Now, I would absolutely love to have a Boss's Orders and just Lost City another Regi Drago, or to get a Cross Switcher, but we had to discard one earlier on, unfortunately. And now Ancient Wisdom coming out. Does my opponent have the Retrieval? They can't even attack. They can just Static Shock us, that's okay. They can't even get the attack off here. Pursuing Heavy Ball, but I don't think we need anything from that. We'll Concealed Cards first, see if we can find that Boss's Orders, because that would be very lovely. Did not find that. We'll Capacious Bucket as well. And now I think we'll Primate Wisdom. There's the Boss's Orders. Oh man. This excites me. We're in a glaciated world. Put that onto Kyurem. We'll play the we'll play the Heavy Ball for the hell of it. I think we have a Kyurem prized. Oh, we had a VMAX prized. Okay, so that's fine. We can get rid of that. I'm gonna boss up this Regi Drago. If they don't play 2, they're absolutely screwed. Or sorry, if they don't play a 3rd Regi Drago, they're screwed. They can't do anything. They literally cannot do anything. They just lose the game. Because then, it doesn't matter how much they do to us with Regigigas. Like, they can knock out this Kyurem, that's fine. We can keep knocking things out if they're manually attaching every single turn. So I'm very curious to see if they have a 3rd Regi Drago in this list. They don't, yeah, that's the scoop. There's not much you can do about that. See, that's why the Lost City's so good against those pesky single prizers, and that allows Kyurem VMAX to take a big dub. My opponent calling the coin flip here. Tails has not failed us. Absolutely, we're gonna go first. And now, making sure we get a good board is very important, and thankfully we do have a good board here. I want to start Palkia because we can at least guarantee an attack next turn, thanks to Oranguru and Irida being in our possession. But we'll see what my opponent's playing. It's going to be some sort of Arceus deck, so I'm actually decently happy with this hand. We'll get rid of that. We can even put down a Kyurem and get it ready. We will Kyurem, we will Oranguru, we can Training Court, get this energy back onto the Palkia. We can Oranguru this Irida on top. And there's water energy. That's okay. We can actually put that back after. And we'll just let it go. We'll just pass it to my opponent. We can utilize Kyurem VMAX's Max Frost, or we can even, if we need to, find that Palkia and use the VSTAR power. A Gardevoir coming out means to me like there's going to be a Hisui and a Goodra. I think that's what it's going to be. Seeing that metal energy here, Hisui and Goodra VSTAR is a very interesting matchup because I think it really depends on how powerful your boards are, if that makes sense. So my opponent getting a Goodra all set up, we would really like to knock this out right now, I will say. That would really help us. We have the Irida right here, so we'll put that Kyurem VMAX down. Well, first Primate Wisdom. And we can Glaciated World. And we'll just put it onto Palkia. Now we can Irida, and we have the fish for the next turn, which we might just drop anyway, so we can, well, we have Irida, so we're okay. We can grab the Palkia VSTAR, and knowing only one Cross Switchers in the deck is good, which means we should probably try and take a knockout. Grab the VSTAR, and maybe even Radiant Greninja isn't even in the deck. Okay, so we got a couple cards prized that we would rather not have prized. I think we'll grab the Choice Belt, honestly. I think a Choice Belt's a good play here. Choice Belt and Palkia VSTAR are now on the board. Subspace Well, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage, but 150 is good enough, right? Like, you can't complain about doing 150. This is what I find is the issue against Goodra VSTAR. It's like when you have a really, like, subpar setup, and they get the Goodra down and they get it powered up, and you don't find your boss and like have all your energy and your switches options on board, it's like, what can you really do? Like, you can't really do too much. My opponent has the Arceus VSTAR coming out to play. Now, my goal here is to get a bunch of energy in the discard and use Star Portal right now. That is my goal, which I think we should be able to do, depending on what we draw here. Oh, we draw Water Energy, look at that. We can Primate Wisdom this. We'll use Glaciated World first. Oh, it's another Water Energy. Okay. Glaciated World. We know this is going on the Kyurem. I want to just knock out Goodra in one shot. Like, no questions asked. That's my plan. So we can Irida here. And I'm thinking maybe Rotom Phone. And we don't even have another Palkia V. Or we can get Hisuian Heavy Ball. Is that also in the prizes? Oh my gosh, we have the worst possible prizing, like, ever. Because we would like to get a Melony at this for the next turn after, and use Star Portal. And we can't even get like a double Cross Switcher or anything. That sucks. We're gonna have to grab Kyurem, and I guess we'll just grab Rotom Phone. And now I have a plan here, which is going to involve using Rotom Phone for next turn. We can get Quick Ball, or we can get Roxanne. I don't know how helpful Roxanne's gonna be. We'll guarantee the Water Energy, actually. That's my play, because we have the fish. We'll put the Kyurem down. And now I want to retreat into Kyurem VMAX and utilize Star Portal here so we don't get knocked out. That's like what I want to do, but I don't know if that's the optimal play. So we're just going to leave this, and we're just going to Subspace Well and take the KO. Yeah, that's a bit rough for us, I won't lie. Can we get something good? Oh, okay, Crobat was also priced too. We had terrible prizing. We had very terrible prizing this game, but that's okay. Bat and Fish being in our hand is also really powerful, because we want to knock out this Goodra in one go. Like, no questions asked, this Goodra's got to go. And now I believe we need 5 energy and a belt to take it out, right? We need to do 370 damage, and we need, yeah, I think 5 energy, or 5 energy actually might just do the trick. So it's now Kyurem's time to shine. Come on up, Kyurem. Let's see what you can do. There's that Water Energy. We're going to Primate Wisdom it back on to the top. And Glaciated World. So that gets attached. Now we can Lumineon and grab Melony. And play Melony down. And there's that other Water Energy. So now I quite literally am going to do a calculation. We need to do 370 damage, and we do 120 Yeah, we need 5 energy exactly, and we have it in hand. Boom, 5 energy. And now we can continue to set up our board here. We're going to grab this water energy, and we can actually do something that's pretty awesome, I will say. Get rid of those, grab this Kyurem VMAX, and we can start getting this Kyurem ready. We can Primate Wisdom, and play Kyurem VMAX, Glaciated World, and put that on this Kyurem, and then Crobat. And now we have a really, really good board set up. Max Frost, get rid of all the energy. See you later, Goodra. Perfect math. 270 damage, boom, out of here. That's how you gotta tackle the Goodra matchup, because now my opponent doesn't really have anything they can do. There's our Heavy Ball, and they just concede the game. Yep, like I figured, there's not much they can do when the Goodra gets one shot KO'd, and that is about it. That's how you take a dub with Kyurem VMAX. That's what goes to show how powerful this deck is. It can beat anything. So what did you think of my Palkia Kyurem VMAX deck? I really love this deck. I think it's super, super powerful and super, super fun to play as well. Like, I'm so excited when my cards come in so I can actually play this at my local tournaments. As for what I would change with the deck, this build is my preferred build. Like, I literally love to play this build the most. You could maybe get rid of some cards in favor of putting more Cross Switchers. I think Cross Switchers are really underrated because you can just directly search them with Urida. But other than that, the deck is really tight on space. I also like the Cheryl in there, but I'm not sure how helpful it is. Maybe you want to go for, I don't know what you would want to go for instead of the Cheryl. But you can put more consistency cards, maybe another Melony. Maybe you can find room for more Cross Switchers by getting rid of Cheryl. That is completely up to you. But anyways, if you liked this video, be sure to leave a like. Comment down below, what do you think of Kyurem VMAX? What do you think of this list? What would you change? What would you keep? What would you, you know, what do you like? What do you dislike? I really am curious to see, because my build is it's closer to, I don't remember who, but they placed very well. Not at Salt Lake City, but the one before Peoria, I think. They placed pretty well. My list is very similar. It's not the same as theirs, actually. So I want to know what you think of this style of playing Kyurem VMAX, because I think this is the best way to do it. And then subscribe to the channel. You never want to miss any Pokemon trading card game content. I post 2 videos a week on the Hitmonchanting channel here, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out. With all that said and done, Hitmonchanting out.